and welcome to the weekly press briefing of the Foreign Office. Let me begin with the visit of the Foreign Minister of the Russian Federation to Pakistan from 6th to 7th of April 2021. During the visit, delegation-level talks were held between Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi and Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. The visiting Foreign Minister also called on Prime Minister Imran Khan and Chief of Army Staff General Qamar Javed Bajwa. The visit provided both sides an opportunity to review the whole gamut of bilateral relations and share their respective perspectives on key regional and international issues. During the delegation-level talks, the two sides agreed on the need to intensify efforts to deepen cooperation in all areas including economy and trade, energy, counterterrorism, security and defense, education, and people-to-people exchanges. Underscoring the importance of energy sector cooperation, Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi reaffirmed Pakistan's commitment to early commencement of the Pakistan Stream gas pipeline project. In the regional context, views were exchanged on matters related to South Asia, West Asia, Gulf region, Middle East, and the Asia Pacific. The Foreign Minister underscored Pakistan's desire for peace in Afghanistan and its continued support for the Afghan-led and Afghan-owned peace process. He also appreciated Russia's role in the ongoing Afghan peace process. Dilating upon the human rights situation in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, Foreign Minister Qureshi underlined Pakistan's commitment to the regional peace and security and peaceful resolution of the Jammu and Kashmir dispute. The Foreign Minister noted with appreciation the close cooperation between Pakistan and Russia at the multilateral fora, including at the United Nations and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. The two ministers also discussed the potential of Eurasian Economic Union and the Belt and Road Initiative, of which China-Pakistan Economic Corridor is the flagship project. During the call on the Prime Minister, bilateral relations and issues of regional and global importance were discussed. The Prime Minister reiterated the importance Pakistan attaches to its relations with Russia as a key foreign policy priority and expressed satisfaction at the steady growth in bilateral relations. The Prime Minister underscored his desire for expanding cooperation with Russia, particularly in the areas of trade, energy, industrial modernization, railways, aviation, security, and defense sectors. The Prime Minister also stressed the importance of a negotiated political settlement in Afghanistan. He appreciated Russia's support to the Afghan peace process, including through the recent meeting of the extended Troika in Moscow. With reference to the situation in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the Prime Minister shared Pakistan's perspective on issues of peace and security in South Asia. The Prime Minister reiterated his invitation to President Putin to visit Pakistan. The 10th summit of the D8 was hosted by Bangladesh on 8th March 2021 in a virtual format. The theme of the summit was Partnership for a Transformative World, Harnessing Power of Youth and Technology. The summit was attended by the heads of state and government of the D8 member states including Bangladesh, Egypt, Indonesia, Iran, Malaysia, Nigeria, Pakistan, and Turkey. In his address, Prime Minister Imran Khan underlined the significance of interconnectedness, partnership, and creating opportunities for over 550 million young people in the D8 countries. He also shed light on the overall impact of COVID-19 pandemic, which has thus far caused over 2.9 million deaths, unemployment of over 250 million people, and global economic contraction. To realize the vision of D8, the Prime Minister proposed a 5-pronged roadmap. 1. mobilizing finances and resources to recover robustly from the economic and health crisis induced by COVID-19, and addressing these challenges by debt relief, creating special drawing rights, mobilizing climate finance, eliminating illicit financial flows, and return of stolen assets to the developing countries. 2. Creating concrete actions to expand intra-D8 trade from currently around $100 billion to $500 billion by the year 2030. 3. Developing a youth engagement strategy focused on promoting cultural, educational, scientific, and business exchanges. 4. Promoting knowledge-based economies, increasing expenditure on research and development, and focusing on rapid digitalization. And 5. Making D8 more relevant to the lives of our citizens by promoting food security, enhancing cooperation in health, holding joint sport events, and helping each other during natural disasters. Earlier, Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi addressed the 19th Council of Foreign Ministers meeting of the D8. In his remarks, Foreign Minister Qureshi briefed the participants about Pakistan's commitment to the vision and objectives of D8. He reaffirmed Pakistan's resolve to play an active role in enabling the organization to achieve its full potential. The Foreign Minister received the new resident representative of the United Nations Development Programme to Pakistan. He appreciated the UNDP's positive contribution towards achievement of sustainable development goals by the Global South. The Foreign Minister underscored that sustainable development and poverty alleviation were among the topmost priorities of the Government of Pakistan. He also highlighted the reinforced reorientation towards economic diplomacy with a focus on socio-economic progress to enhance trade and foreign investment. The resident representative briefed the Foreign Minister on UNDP's ongoing activities in the country and exchanged views on further strengthening development partnership with Pakistan. He assured the Foreign Minister of UNDP's continued support for Pakistan's development objectives and priorities. The Under-Secretary for Political Affairs of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Iraq called on the Foreign Minister. During the interaction, the Foreign Minister reaffirmed Pakistan's strong and fraternal ties with the brotherly country of Iraq. On the occasion, a memorandum of understanding on cooperation between foreign services academies of the two countries was also signed. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Embassy of Pakistan in Washington, D.C., in collaboration with all relevant stakeholders, including the Ministry of Information Technology and the State Bank of Pakistan, organized a virtual startup summit titled Science and Technology as Catalyst for Entrepreneurship. The summit brought together 120 startup industry stakeholders from Pakistan and the Pakistani diaspora in the United States. In his keynote address, Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi highlighted the increasing role of science and technology and underlined the importance of socio-economic and sustainable development in modern-day diplomacy. Pakistan and China held the third round of China-Pakistan consultations on the United Nations affairs at the level of Directors General. The two sides exchanged views on a wide range of multilateral issues of mutual interest, covering all major areas of the United Nations work. Both sides agreed to 1. Firmly safeguard multilateralism and support the central role of the UN in international affairs, strengthen cooperation at the UN and other multilateral platforms, work towards the political and peaceful resolution of regional and international hotspot issues, and jointly safeguard peace and stability of the world, especially in Asia. Continue to strengthen cooperation on counterterrorism and peacekeeping in the UN framework and cooperation for the maintenance of international and regional peace and security. And finally, consolidate strategic coordination in the field of human rights, jointly opposing double standards and politicization of human rights issues. Now, coming to the situation in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the extrajudicial killings by the Indian occupying forces continued unabated during the past week as well. 10 more Kashmiris were martyred in Pulwama and Shopian districts of IIOJK. Out of these, 7 Kashmiris were martyred only yesterday. Pakistan has repeatedly called for independent investigations under international scrutiny into the extrajudicial killings of all these innocent Kashmiris. We have also consistently underscored the need for unhindered access to the UN human rights bodies, international human rights and humanitarian organizations, and global media to assess the human rights situation in IIOJK. We are also concerned over the continuing military siege, incarceration of Kashmiri leadership, unprecedented restrictions and on fundamental freedoms of the Kashmiri people, and ongoing efforts to change the demographic structure of the occupied territory in clear violation of international law, particularly the 4th Geneva Convention. The international community must take cognizance of the unabated human rights violations in IIOJK and play its role in resolution of the Jammu and Kashmir dispute in accordance with the relevant UN Security Council resolutions and the aspirations of the Kashmiri people. I thank you very much and am ready to take questions on these or other